Lee Summit is your destination for big city vibes and small town charm.
Head to the downtown Lee Summit Farmers Market, where local meets fresh. Then grab a cup of coffee and discover a variety of shops and boutiques just around the corner. Continue the fun in downtown Lee Summit at a retro arcade bar. Discover your new beer at one of our 6 locally owned breweries. Cool off with some handcrafted cocktails at happy hour. End the night with live music and good company. Lee Summit, Missouri.
Hello Lee Summit, I'm Jordan. Here's your flash briefing for the week of June 9th. City Council will meet for a regular session Tuesday night at 6 in Council Chambers in City Hall. Meetings are open to the public or watch live on the city's YouTube channel. If you can't watch, catch the recorded meeting on demand on the YouTube channel or by subscribing to the Council Debrief newsletter, which breaks down 3 to 4 key agenda items. Subscribe at cityofls.net. Something great is coming to Lee Summit. The grand opening of Green Street is slated to be August 15th through the 17th. The weekend will be filled with festivities, including live music, food trucks, the farmers market, kids activities, and more. Green Street is located in the heart of downtown Lee Summit, across from City Hall, between 3rd and 2nd Streets. Find all the details at greenstreetls.com. A section of Northwest Bentry Drive between Northwest Chipman Road and Northwest Bentry Circle will close on Thursday, June 12th through the end of June. The work is necessary as part of the last phase of the Chipman Road Improvements Project. Northwest Chipman Road between View High Drive and Northwest Bentry Drive remains closed to through traffic. All work is weather permitting. For the detour and more information, visit the city's website. And Tour de Lakes Bike Ride is Saturday, June 21st, beginning at 7 a.m. at Longview Community Center. Choose from 4 different routes around 5 different lakes in Lee Summit. Find more information at lsparks.net. Thanks for listening and have a great week.
This is the best place to work.
I love working here.
I feel very blessed.
I love it here.
I look forward to coming to work every day, being a part of this team.
Like a family away from home.
Where everyone feels like everybody knows their name.
A city that supports you. We see that with our benefits.
A pension, vacation days, job security.
Being able to be heard.
We feel valued. We feel respected.
Lee Summit is a very progressive city.
It's growing, it's thriving.
We have this drive towards not just doing a job, but doing it with a spirit of excellence.
I had the opportunity to continue to grow, regardless of 30 plus years doing this kind of work.
It's more than just dollars and cents.
We're here really to give back.
Providing a service to better a community.
To go out and serve people.
To be a part of something bigger than yourself. If I would have known what I know now, years ago, I would have been here much sooner.
Traditionally, we think as police officers, those responding to law enforcement needs within the community. But honestly, we are there to serve our citizens, and our citizens do go into crisis. They do have mental health crises, and we're being called to those scenes on a regular basis. In order to help serve those citizens better, we did initiate the Crisis Intervention Team Program. These are officers that are specially trained to de-escalate crisis situations. Recently, we've brought co-responders onto the scene, licensed qualified mental health professionals housed within our police department, and they respond with those officers directly to those scenes where a crisis is occurring so they can interact with that citizen and get them the help they need right there on that scene.
The co-responders are either bachelor or master level in a behavioral health related field. They wear plain clothes, they don't carry weapons or anything like that.
I have a police radio that I listen to all day. Listen for, those key words: mental health, behavioral health, crisis.
There's a lot of officers that just call for me. I have my own radio number.
I also have the ability to self-dispatch to them and say 982 is en route.
Officers en route, 914, Armstrong.
So typically I arrive after they've made it safe. I'll make contact and get kind of the rundown, and then I just kind of jump right in.
Like, hey, my name's Allison. I'm a mental health professional. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to take you to jail or arrest you.
Sometimes all a person needs is a voice, someone neutral, someone outside that, can listen. I do a lot of safety planning, including family, their support network, who's close to you. If they're home alone, who can come over and hang out with you today? Can we lock away your sharps? Can we put up your meds? Do you need meds? Can we get you over to the urgent care to get you assessed for your medications? Some of them also are like, oh, I'm so glad you came. This made me feel so much better.
Our main goal as the co-responders is to, one, get people connected to the services that they need, and also divert from emergency rooms and jails.
And they almost get a different view of the police responding. That lets me know you care and the officers care.
Please, how can we help you?
My husband
In 2020, we had 722 mental health related calls for service. 2022, by that time, 1,479. These mental health related calls for service are increasing. How we're responding to that is increasing the number of crisis intervention team officers we have available, as well as the number of co-responders we have available to respond on these calls.
So what I think is important for the community to know about the co-responder program is that we're here, we exist. All you have to do when you call 911 is ask for us. You know, say, hey, I want a co-responder to respond to this crisis, and we'll go. I was really struggling about 8 years ago on my personal journey with mental health, and I met some amazing social workers and amazing programs that have helped me get to where I am today. I really couldn't see myself doing anything else. We want to help, and that's what we love to do.
So I had a client, we got a call, she had some suicidal ideations, and she really felt that she had nobody. And and getting to know her story and getting to know who comes around and sees you, well, then we found a support person and they responded immediately. And we made a plan. I called back and checked on her in an hour, and then I checked on her in 2 hours. We were able to get her into the additional services to where she talks to someone every week or more. I just took a person that really just thought they had nobody and nobody would show up for them, and show them you do. And you'll be amazed who is in your corner if you just simply say, I need a little help.
It's extremely rewarding overall. Just the fact of working with other council people and other volunteer commission members that are so involved and care so much about making this community better. It sort of kind of lifts your own spirits by being involved in that kind of environment with other people like that. For many years, I was a typical resident, raising a family, going to work, in many cases leaving the city for employment, and went through a leadership class through the chamber. Learned a lot about our city and learned about all the great amenities and resources we have, and was asked if I was interested in volunteering on a commission. I said yes, and kind of the rest is history. I've just completed my third year on city council, and so looking forward to finishing strong with this first term, and look forward to continuing to serve this community. My thing is there's so many talented people in this community that believe in so many different initiatives, and for me, one of the big reasons why I decided to run was that as a residential taxpayer, I felt that we can always increase the business tax base of our community, and that's kind of been a big part of my involvement on city council, is to encourage and promote and make it easier for development to occur, commercial development to occur in our community, to increase that tax base and diversify that tax base. And so I think we've made significant strides the last few years. We've had a collective great group of council members and mayor where we've really truly accomplished a lot of things that there were somewhat kind of stumbling blocks for previous councils. Working new contracts with our union personnel, firefighters and police was a big accomplishment for us. The fact that we were able to push along some initiatives like the downtown renovation for a market, a farmer's market. It's been a great experience to be part of those meetings, to help nudge it, and to the point where we have a developer involved is just a great feeling to have been part of that. And others, I mean, I think our park system, we've continued to support our park system to add a new community center, for example, that we negotiated with the Metropolitan Community Colleges. So I'm proud of all those things and just being able to help make a difference in many aspects. I love definitely spending time with my family. We have 3 daughters, and they're all fairly active, in some in sports and other extracurricular activities. But for me, I love being outdoors. I love the trails, I love riding my bike, and I love playing golf. And we have awesome amenities and options within our community to have that kind of a lifestyle. This June will be 25 years that my wife and I have lived in Lee Summit and have raised 3 daughters in this community. I know this city has incredible, talented residents that come from all different walks of life, very diverse group of families in our community that it's so rewarding to be involved on a government level or some kind of civic commission or committee that in many cases you get out of it more than you put in. And I truly live by that, and I believe that.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call to order the Lee Summit Planning Commission meeting for June 12th, 2025. Can we get a roll call, please? Vote or roll call attendance, please.
Mark Kitchens, Sherry Frazier, present. Jake Lovelace, Terry Trafton,
present.
Dana Arth,
present.
Jessica Greneau,
present.
Tanya Jonaford, Chip Tazinski,
Present.
and Randy Benbrook.
Present.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve the agenda as published?
Chair, I move to approve the agenda.
A second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we get a vote on that, please?
Sherry Frazier,
Yes.
Terry Trafton,
Yes.
Dana Arth,
Yes.
Jessica Greneau,
Yes.
Chip Tazinski,
Yes.
Randy Benbrook.
Yes.
Okay, we will go on to public comments. Do we have any public comments in regard to the Planning Commission business outside of this meeting? And it looks like we have none, so we will move on to the consent agenda. We have 5 items. We have application PL 2025-073, vacation of easement 1001 and 1005 Southwest Blue Parkway, Quick Trip Corporation applicant. We have application PL 2025-094, vacation of easement 2320 Southeast Blue Parkway, Engineering Solutions LLC applicant. Item C, application PL 2025-103, vacation of easement Everin Apartments, 25 Northwest Tudor Road and 818 Northeast Douglas Street, Renaissance Infrastructure Consulting applicant. Item D, application PL 2024-120, final plat, the townhomes at Chapel Ridge, third plat, lots 20 through 42, and tracks E through I, Engineering Solutions LLC applicant. And then we have the approval of the May 22nd, 2025 Planning Commission action letter.
Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we get a vote on that, please?
Sherry Frazier,
Yes.
Terry Trafton,
Yes.
Dana Arth,
Yes.
Jessica Greneau,
Yes.
Chip Tazinski,
Yes.
Randy Benbrook.
Yes.
Okay, we will move on to the public hearings. We have one public hearing tonight, and we have application PL 2025-081, special use permit for car wash and outdoor facilities, Charlie's Car Wash, 950 Northwest Chipman Road, Charlie's Car Wash LLC applicant. So if anyone who plans to speak on behalf of this application, please stand and be sworn in at this time.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right, thank you. So do we have a presentation from the applicant? If you would come forward and state your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. Don Booz, Director of Real Estate for Charlie's Car Wash and Blue Beacon Inc., 500 Graves Boulevard, Salina, Kansas. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. It's been 11 or 12 years since I've been here before the Planning Commission. Good to be back. Here we go. All right. Charlie's Car Wash is a division of Blue Beacon Inc., headquartered, a private company, family-owned, headquartered in Salina, Kansas. Our companies include the Blue Beacon Truck Washes that operate in 38 states across the U.S., Lighthouse Properties, Hotels, and Charlie's Car Washes. Tonight, we're here to talk about Charlie's. We currently have 13 locations in Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Here specifically in Lee Summit, we're at 950 Northwest Chipman Road. We've been in operation about 10 years. We're very proud of this location. It's one of our best looking facilities. Very proud of it. All masonry, very well maintained. I always like to point out at this location, all of the green space between us and the frontage road, about 80% of that is Missouri right-of-way. And we had negotiated with MoDOT during construction the right to irrigate and maintain that. It's our front yard, even though it's their property, and they've been willing to let us do so. And it really helps explain the level of excellence that we commit ourselves to inside and outside all of our facilities. Charlie's is a full-service car wash, which means in addition to the exterior cleaning we provide in our tunnel, we also provide interior cleaning, and that's fairly rare in our industry. The interior cleaning obviously requires a much larger building, quite a bit of additional specialized equipment, and many more employees, quite a few more employees. This location has roughly 60 employees, and our annual payroll is approximately $1 million, which is quite a bit more than you would expect from a car wash operation. Now, over the past 10 years, our industry's changed dramatically. There's been a tremendous increase in the number of tunnel car washes. Most of them we'd refer to as limited service, just doing the exterior tunnel. But almost all of them now have the customer vacuums. When this was built 10 years ago, that was starting, but we didn't find a product that we felt was good enough for our customer, and we didn't really see the need. Our customers didn't really expect it. But today, given this proliferation of the new number of limited service car washes and customer vacuums, customers just expect to have them. We have one complaint at this location: why can't I vacuum my own vehicle? And we've learned that there's two different customers. There's the customer who's happy to pay us to clean their inside, and they have no intention of using their own vacuum. And there's the customer who wants to vacuum their inside, and they have no intention of paying us to clean for their inside. So we're trying to react to our customers' needs and demands in the industry, because currently we just find ourselves at a competitive disadvantage, and we're trying to solve that. So what we're asking for, just another picture of some of our landscape right there at the tunnel entrance, is to add 16 interior customer vacuum stations. So to do this, we're displacing some employee parking. So it's taken us quite some time to find some employee parking, and so we've negotiated with the owner of the SpiroCare building to the north a perpetual easement for 29 spaces on the north side of their property. They're severely overparked per code, and this easement will serve, it'll be perpetual. We don't need 29 spaces, but there's a retaining wall right there. Those spaces, they say, are never used. He either wanted to handle all of them or none of them, so that was the opportunity we had. So we're opting to have the perpetual easement over all 29 spaces. This next slide has a little bit closer view of just the site changes. So we're proposing 9 vacuum stations along the north property line, and then adjacent to our building, another 7. You'll note there's also a vacuum building that would be installed. That's because these vacuums, like everything we do, we buy the best there is in the industry. We use only the best. That's how you get the best results, and that's what we offer. It's a central vacuum system. By keeping the vacuum equipment in an interior structure, it eliminates any noise. Second, it extends the life of the equipment dramatically. And third, it's just a much better look for what we do. Here is an elevation for that building. It's roughly 13 feet square. It'll be all masonry, just like our building, using the identical materials and also the identical fascia product. And that it's a special metallic fascia product that comes from Firestone that doesn't rust. The doors are stainless steel. Most people don't use stainless steel doors, but this is Charlie's. We only do things with the best equipment and products and materials. This is a site-specific drawing of the vacuum stations coming from our vendor and shows their connections to the interior equipment building, and a 3D rendering of the stations themselves. Those spaces are 12.5 feet wide as opposed to a parking stall that would be 9 feet. So that allows for the doors to be opened and operated with the vacuums without damaging the adjacent vehicle. For reference, this is an aerial from the south showing our building, and at the top of the screen would be the parking spaces. And then an additional aerial from the north where the parking spaces are at the bottom of the screen looking south. These are the parking spaces. You can see it's a significant retaining wall, largely why they don't use them at Spiracare. All of their parking is adjacent to the building that's used. These are actual pictures from our oldest installation, which was in 2016 in Independence at 40 Highway and 470. We use stainless steel. I think we're the only ones in town that use stainless steel for their vacuum stations. It's quite a bit more expensive, but it meets the quality of the rest of our building. It handles the elements very well, and it doesn't rust. Another view of the same from the other side. And again, these have been there since 2016. And I like to show this one for this particular instance because the vacuum stations are adjacent to an old Chicago, and we peacefully coexist very well. We don't have any problems with any interactions or concerns. I do want to stress that the addition of the vacuums is what requires the special use permit, because per your ordinance, you're either full service or you need a special use permit. Even though we're going to remain full service, the fact that we add anything that's used by the customer themselves, that requires the special use permit. Nothing else is going to change. And with that, this is a more recent installation in Olathe. This was 2023 at 135th and Black Bob. And I will say out of our 13 locations, this is one of 2 that doesn't have vacuums. We found that we really just can't operate without them and meet the needs of our customers. So we respectfully request you consider our special use permit application so that we can add our vacuum stations to our locations for our customers.
Thank you, Mr. Boos.
Thank you.
Hector, are you the one presenting for the staff presentation, I guess?
I am. Good evening, Hector Soto Jr., Senior Planner. I'd like to enter into the record Exhibit A, list of Exhibits 1 through 18.
Exhibit A, Exhibits 1 through 18 noted and entered into the record.
So as Mr. Bruce had referenced, the application before you today, the scope is limited to the outdoor equipment that's proposed for the existing facility that has been there for approximately 10 years. So as he mentioned, it is very accurate what he said. It's like, but for the fact that the proposal is now to have outdoor equipment, this car wash currently operates and can continue to operate without a special use permit. But the proposed vacuums kick it over to requiring a special use permit. And I'm sure most everyone is familiar with the general area, but here is an overview of the zoning, existing zoning for the general area. Generally speaking, the 3 corners of this major intersection, the 50 Highway and Chipman Road, northwest, northeast, and southeast, are anchored by commercial zoning. There's a little bit of commercial zoning on the southwest corner, but then you have off the screen here in Periwinkle, you have John Knox Village, the beginnings of John Knox Village. Diagonal to that, at the far end, you have this other PMIX area that is Summit Technology Campus. The little inset drawing here again gives you a little bit of reference minus the zoning to give you a little bit better idea as to where the site sits relative to the Red Lobster, Olive Garden, Chick-fil-A, Dick's Sporting Goods, pad sites, and so on. So the existing facility that's here, it's a little bit more than 13,000 square feet. As we've mentioned before, no outdoor facilities. There are a total of 20 required parking spaces for the facility based on the UDO standard of needing 1 parking space per employee on the largest shift. So the largest shift have 20 employees, so this minimum requirement would be 20. They have 33 on site existing. So with this preliminary development plan, which the little inset again kind of focuses on where all of the construction activity would be, which is at that far northwest corner of the site, we would be, what's proposed is to remove 22 on-site parking spaces, convert those to 16 bays, vacuum bays. So there are two general areas. So at this far north end, there is a bank of 14 existing parking spaces. Just off the northeast corner of the building, northwest corner building, sorry, there is a bank of 8 parking spaces. So these 8 will become 7, and these 14 will become 9. There'll be some additional improvements here for some turnaround area. There's a trash enclosure that's going to remain in place, and here's the 12-foot by 12-foot vacuum equipment building that will be located in the general facility, or central to the general area where the vacuum stations will be. So to touch a little bit on the off-site parking, so once the 22 spaces are converted, let me go back a little bit. Once the 22 spaces are going to be converted, that would leave 11 on-site spaces. So we would have 16 vacuum stations, 11 on-site spaces, and then there would be the 29 spaces over here at the north end, kind of that teal block where you do have 29 total spaces that are currently on the SpiroCare property. Here in pink, that denotes a pedestrian path along an existing sidewalk system that will allow employees to be able to, safely walk, not on the street, but on sidewalk, between that off-site parking area and the site. So as the crow flies, the distance between this area and the site is about 450 feet. If you were to compare that to some other, just for frame of reference, I took some measurements for the existing Target and the 2 Walmart facilities, and if you were to take a straight line measurement from the entrances to the furthest reaches of the parking lot that serve that center, you're looking at comparable walking distances of 450 to maybe upwards of 550. The Target parking lot is not quite rectangular, there's a little bit odd shape to it. So at the furthest reaches, you could be walking up to 550 in other centers. So this would be comparable to walking across a parking lot for a big box retailer. If I were also just to give you a little bit more reference here, now, you won't be able to completely see it, but I also took a measurement just from where the Dick's Sporting Goods would be. If one were to walk the entire spine of that Summit Fair Center from south to end, that's actually about a quarter of a mile walk. So, so this is significantly less, a fraction of that. So that helps, I hope, provide a little bit of reference as to how much of a distance employees would be expected or asked to walk if they did park there off-site. We do have one condition of approval, and that would be that would be tied to the time period that is requested. The applicant has requested a period of 20 years, and that's based on, as referenced in the staff letter, and they provided a narrative based on the amount of investment that they're looking to do, reinvestment in the site to help them remain competitive and relevant in the market. They are requesting 20 years for the time period, and staff is supportive of that based on special use permit time periods granted for other car washes. So I'll yield to any questions you may have.
Thank you, Hector. I don't think it looks like we have any public comments on this application, so I'm going to turn it over to the commissioners for any questions you might have. Commissioner Benbrook?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Hector, we're talking about the route from the employee parking to the building. Is that completely ADA qualified?
I would have to verify if that particular route is. Once the changes are made, there are still 2 ADA spaces on site that will remain unchanged. They are actually located. So it's a little bit hard to see on here, but you do have 2 ADA accessible parking spaces here that would satisfy the needs, meets ADA standards for providing them on-site, and they're open to customers and employees. So they will still remain there, and that route does meet standard.
Okay. And I know we've had some discussions in the past, excuse me, regarding the time period for car washes and SUPs and all that. I know some of them we have limited in below that 20-year mark. Has there been any discussions with the applicant as to acceptability of a 10-year SUP?
No, we had not discussed anything for less than that.
Okay. That's all I had. Thank you, Hector. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Tuzinski?
Madam Chairman, hey, Hector, quick question for you. I noticed on the blow-up, you're not showing it, but they are doing a little bit of ADA improvements at their entrance, right? Because it looks like they show a little stub in gray as part of their plan. I don't know if you've got a larger... Yeah, I see like over here. Looks like
yes, they are adding a ramp to be able to get across from the terminus of the sidewalk on the north side for Texas Roadhouse.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, and then I also have a question for the applicant, too. I'm asking for a friend, maybe someone that has what's it called, a monthly membership.
Unlimited
and,
membership.
if and he does go there and he likes to utilize your inside services to clean inside the car, but also likes to, on occasion, vacuum himself. So are these vacuums going to be, are they free for?
Yeah, they're free.
They're all free, okay. That's all my questions, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Frazier?
I have a follow-up too. So the operating hours, and because the vacuums are free, can you speak to, I don't want to use the word security, which I just did. If someone can come and use the vacuum after hours,
Outside of
off
business,
hours?
no, because again, there's central system, so the system will be shut down, so they'll not be able to.
Right, great. Okay, thank you. That was mine.
Thank you.
Commissioner Trafton?
Thank you, Chair. I think my question was for the applicant on, it's very close to the Texas Roadhouse entrance. Did you talk to Texas Roadhouse?
We did not. They were noticed.
But I figured they were noticed. I just didn't know if there was a conversation.
Yeah. This is anecdotal, but the attorney who represents the Spira Care property told us that he represents Texas Roadhouse.
But he represented
and
both.
that they're requiring them to consent, and they told us there weren't concerns, but I don't have evidence of that yet.
They're requiring who to consent for what?
The landowner that owns Spira Care, he wanted Texas Roadhouse to consent to this, and their attorney represents both.
Gotcha. So in essence, what you're saying to me is the attorney that you worked the deal out for the extra parking with Spira Care is also represents Texas Roadhouse, so they are aware that what you're doing and did not come forth with any
That's correct.
objections.
They didn't send any representative to our neighborhood meeting either.
Great, thank you. My other question is related to, you're taking, and I'm guessing that little bump out you have there, because you're taking traffic from going from one way into the facility to now people that are going to be using those vacuums are going to be going in and out. So there's, in essence, two-way traffic going in and out of that entrance. That way where you mostly have traffic coming in. So I have a couple questions. One is that little bump out for people to turn around and go out?
Yes, to back into, so that they could then pull out. We had initially had another stall there, and we felt like that would be a good idea for safety.
Do you have in any of your other locations a similar setup like this? I know this is kind of a weird lot setup where you really just have a one in and out. It's very kind of confined, to be honest.
Oh, we have several that are tight. So I'd have to go through them.
Just curious
Yes,
about-
yes, up in Liberty, we have a similar situation for a
Way
portion of
traffic.
them, yes.
And concern for, I don't know what you're projecting on volumes for this. Like what you anticipate an increase in business for people that are going to be using the vacuums.
Well,
but-
there's two different areas.
This will be a little bit easier to focus.
Are you talking about this particular area?
Yeah, I mean, if, in essence, it's really both because you have.
Well, I did want to point out, this area here is only people coming out this way or people that had the interior cleaning, because if you exit the tunnel, you're coming out at the other exit, and which is the bulk of the
Right.
traffic.
So you have to go to the north side to use the vacuums if you're coming out of the facility.
Correct. Then this area right here, they would back into the space and then go out. We have, I believe, more stacking space here than any of our locations, so there is highly unlikely that cars would be here to make that difficult. The only times we have really, really huge stacking issues, if that's what you're asking about, would be after a snow, like 2 days after a snow. And periods after that, people aren't using the interior vacuums. They're getting cleaned and out off the site. But also another reason why they're 12'6" wide there, it helps for vision and space to get out. But we're pretty cautious about safety, and our civil engineering people have assured us that this is a very safe approach.
I guess, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I didn't know if you had done any kind of research about the tightness of all that whole space. But I guess when you raise the question of cars are only going to be able to go into the 7 stalls adjacent right to the building, they're only going to be able to get into that as a one-way out only from the garage area, or if they looped over through the entrance, so I guess going around or whatever, which.
Yeah, our fourth bay inside our interior cleaning is for what's called a hand dry. So the customer that would get a hand dry on the outside may want to use these vacuums.
Oh, gotcha. So, I mean, I could see in a busy time where you have all 9 stalls full on the north end and people are going to just go into that wrong way into there, if that's the only way to get into it, because they're probably not going to want to drive. Like if it was me, I wouldn't go into the garage area to go through to use the vacuums. I would just probably turn left.
Yeah.
If all the stalls are.
Oh, okay. Just so you know, this is pavement 2 now, so there is room for the
okay.
customer to come in here.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks for that clarification. That helps.
Yeah, sorry. I think the coloration of some of the pavement here improvement, I think maybe a little misleading.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
this will be new curb line here. So folks that come out the end of the tunnel on the north end could also cycle through. If all of these are occupied, they can cycle through, make a turn down in here, be able to make turning movements back out, and then exit out there.
You're right. I was confused with the line where it is now.
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
little
the
confusing, but yes.
Line.
Yeah.
Thank you for that clarification. That was my question. So I can just see myself, I have used your car wash before and I could see it being busy. So, okay, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate your comments.
Commissioner Tuzinski?
One more thing. I did want to thank you for adopting that right-of-way and making it look really nice. I mean, we know MoDOT only has so many funds, and they can't keep right-of-way, all the right-of-way mowed more than once. And so appreciate business owners coming in and adopting that and making it look nice, because all it does is make our city look better. And so we appreciate the effort. Thank you.
And they're very open about that. There are states, and we're in 38 of them, that will not let you touch their right-of-way, so hats off to MoDOT.
Any more questions? Oh, I have one. This is for staff. I'm just curious about this. So the SUP is required because there's self-service. What's the reason behind that ordinance?
So with a lot of our special use permits in general, the uses, they they have some characteristic that has the potential for having some negative external impact. So it could be, like with vacuums, outdoor facilities, it could be noise, it could be trash, whereas the full-service facility as it currently sits, it's completely confined. There are no outdoor drying stations or vacuum stations or anything, so those concerns are not there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Commissioner Trafton?
Sorry. Mr. Booz, I think, is it Bose or Booz? I can't remember. You probably get this all the time, sorry. I didn't mean. Have you talked to your, I'm impressed that you have so many employees, but have you talked to your employees about the requirement to park in the other lot?
Yeah, I have not. Our operational staff has.
Well, that's what I meant, like your employees. And have you gotten any feedback about it? I mean, my own opinion is it's not really that far to walk. It's 450 feet, but
They understand because they hear the complaints about not having the customer vacuums, so they recognize the need. And then as we looked at it too, if you worked at one of the retail spaces, you're asked to park as far away as you can, so it's not inconsistent.
yeah, I mean, if you work at Target or Walmart, to Hector's point, like you have to park in the back of the lot, so and walk in. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, we'll close public hearing, and I will ask the commission if you have any comments.
This comment for, I'd like to say that I do appreciate the 60 or so employees. I frequented the location, and usually it seems like it's seasonal, of course, but the young people that you have working there are very polite, very professional, absolutely love it, and I think that is definitely an asset to our community. I would also like to echo that the right-of-way maintenance is fantastic. This is the nicest looking car wash I have seen. So absolutely kudos to that. I also recognize you did mention that the building where the control center for the vacuums, it's brick and it has stainless steel doors. Another positive as far as I'm concerned. It's aesthetically pleasing. It complements the brick with the facility. And then finally, one thing that I did notice on some of your pictures was the trash receptacles. And, you know, if you've been to other car washes, you know, usually that's what we do. We wash our car and throw the trash out, and sometimes it misses and sometimes it doesn't. So that the way they're placed and actually the way they look, that was definitely a compliment as well. So I definitely will be in support of this.
Commissioner Trafton?
Chair, thank you. I want to echo Commissioner Frazier's comments. I think she took all my comments, so thank you for that. But no, I love how lovely you guys keep the property. I'm big on upkeep and landscaping, and so I appreciate the fact that you're going above and beyond and working with MoDOT on that. And I'm sure they appreciate it as well with all the constraints they have. So thank you for being a good business owner in the community and providing a great opportunity, and now more opportunity for people because they love to keep their cars clean. And we know they're popping up all over, just about every corner. So understand your need to stay competitive. So thank you.
Yes, you can.
I just want to thank you, Mr. Booth, for the level of detail in your presentation. You put a lot of effort into that, and it was very thorough, and it was detailed, and it didn't necessarily have to be, but you took that extra effort, and you were very knowledgeable. And as being someone who hasn't been up here for very long, I appreciate that, so thank you.
Okay. I have a few comments. First of all, I remember when this area was being developed, and in the first preliminary development plan we saw, there was going to be a restaurant where Spira was. So when we recommended that for approval, there's obviously more parking for a restaurant as opposed to a Spira, and I thought it was kind of sad to have all that parking, and I think it's awesome that you are using that space because the impervious coverage obviously increased, and it's going to good use. So I'm really, really happy about that. Also, I happen to know someone who works for your company. I don't want to give too much of a hint away, but I got the impression that you run a very good operation, and you have a high level of professionalism that you expect from employees, and I thought it was really great. So that, with that said, and then just the fact that you are keeping such a major, a very visible area along our 50 highway corridor so nice, it's excellent, because the SUPs give us an opportunity when people aren't doing that to ask them to do it. So obviously you've taken the initiative, and I do appreciate it along with the other commissioners. So with that said, I think we are ready for our vote. Or, I'm sorry, our motion. Yeah, Sherry was going to.
Sherry's going to.
I move to recommend approval of application PL 2025-081 special use permit for car wash with outdoor facilities, Charlie's Car Wash, 950 Northwest Chipman Road. Charlie's Car Wash applicant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Can we get a vote, please?
Sherry Frazier,
Yes.
Terry Trafton,
Yes.
Dana Arth,
Yes.
Jessica Greneau,
Yes.
Chip Tazinski,
Yes.
Randy Benbrook.
Yes.
Okay, the motion has passed. And we will move on to Roundtable. Do we have anything from staff?
The only thing was that this month is a little bit different than others in that we do not have a second meeting in the month. So typically it's the second and fourth Thursday. This one will not. So the next time we will see you will be the second Thursday of July.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
Anybody else?
I do.
Oh, okay, and I have some. Oh, okay. You, go ahead. Go ahead, Commissioner Trafton.
I was just going to say, I stood ready to attend the CEDC meeting yesterday. It was canceled at the last minute, so I fortunately found out before I had to come up here, so I do appreciate the efforts of staff, but I have no further report. I hear there's going to be some nice debate in the future meetings. I'll bring that information to the commission.
All right, thank you.
I did not quite have the same outcome.
I was just getting ready to ask you about that. You tried again?
I did not try. Well, I did go to one meeting, and I was looked upon kind of like, why are you here? So there was some emails that I've had back and forth with city staff. I think we're still trying to work through if there's really a seat for us to even be there or not. So I haven't really attended anymore, and I won't until we figure.
Until you know if you should
what's going on. Yeah.
Well,
so.
And I think that's why when I called Hector yesterday, that was the other thing I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
And I forgot it.
Isn't it a public meeting that anybody can go to?
It is, but it's pretty tight. I mean, I could have stayed. It wasn't like they asked me to leave. I could have stayed if I wanted to, but
is any of them watching
I've
right
never
now?
heard of
yeah, I was
people.
kind of like, we'll just figure it out if we need to be there or not.
Oh.
So I think it's a holdover from the old architectural committee that was rolled into this other
Historical
committee.
preservation.
It used to be the historical.
Committee.
Preservation Commission that got rolled into cultural.
Yeah, and so, but they were thinking there, when I talked to Shannon, she was thinking that there may be a different committee that it would be better if we sat in with. I don't know. It's just one of those
All right,
things.
we'll find out. We'll
Yeah,
look into that.
you tell me where I need to be
Fine.
and what time, and I'll represent the planning
You're
commission.
trying to do
Yeah,
it.
I'm trying.
I appreciate your effort and Steed to be a good commissioner and represent to other commissions and councils in the city.
Well, as secretary, I want to make sure I represent, but
I
also,
applaud you.
I'll be honest too, that the first one that I was going to go to, I had the total wrong day. The second one I wasn't able to make, so the third one, third time's a charm, so.
And you weren't really that charming, according
Yeah,
to
not
them,
really.
right?
No, I just like.
Maybe bring
They had-
cookies or
they had food
cupcakes.
there and everything, and I was just
Oh.
like, I'll just leave, thanks, no.
They don't have
It
that
was
at
fine.
CEDC.
They were very nice. Shannon was very nice, so it was all good.
Okay. Well, if we don't have anything else, I'm going to adjourn at 5:40 PM.